What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. This is another one take, hot take. Haven't done these for a while, but I'm gonna do a few right out of the gate here coming up because there's just a lot of stuff that I'm excited about. Tonight we are talking about Hippocrates. This game just looks stellar. There's a bunch of previews going up right now on the old YouTube, and this game just looks great. So I want to talk about it. It's coming to Kickstarter April 5th. So, party people, how do you feel about old hospitals? The first hospitals. That's what we're talking about. So, in Hippocrates, we have a game coming from Alan Orban, and this guy usually runs in a pack. He usually runs with a design team that's responsible for Trois and Tournay and Trois Dice and Black Angel. So he's in that camp of great designers that put out some really stellar games. But this time he's kind of going out on his own. He's forging his own path, and it looks like he's designed a really sweet game. So, what do you think? Again, these videos work the best if you engage and you answer my questions in the comments down below and talk with one another about what you think about the new cool board game hotness that's coming out. So my first question tonight is, what do you think about a game like Trois? Do you love Trois? Is that in your top dice worker placement games? Is that anywhere near? Is that something that you're not interested in at all? What do you feel about Trois? And how do you think that Alan is going to do kind of out on his own, away from his kind of design cohort? Do you think that he's going to rock this one and hit it out of the park flying solo? Let me know down in the comments below. Like I said, I think he got a great shot based on what I've seen so far. First thing I notice about this game is that the components look really sweet. The art and components look beautiful. Simple, clean, Euro style, nothing fancy. We're not talking about miniatures. We're not talking about anything over the top. But we got these nice little clear plastic colored pieces for the different medicine bottles. And the art is just fantastic. Just a nice, like, almost realistic, cartoony style that I really like, and it just really pops off the board. It's a board that I'm attracted to anyway. I just love the look at it. So I was listening to a podcast the other day, Secret Cabal Gaming Podcast, really like it, recommend it, and they were talking about the value of games. And when I talked about board game value, they really got on this kick of games with lots of miniatures, you know, your Kickstarter games with big minis. But they also mentioned that there's games that are of that traditional Euro style that they can really upscale the components. And when they don't do that now, it seems like the game's kind of cheap or doesn't have as much staying power because the production didn't have the effort into it in this day and age of really nice components. And this game looks like it keeps up. It looks like it retains the heart and soul of a traditional Euro game with some components that are going to be really fun to play with and a board that's going to be really nice to look at. So how about you? What's your stance on components? Do components matter to you even in a traditional Euro style game where really the mechanics are the heart of the game? Do art and components still matter to you? You still want to be playing with quality stuff, or what? So sound down in the comments what you think about components. For me, when I'm playing a Euro game, art especially matters, and it doesn't hurt to have chunky pieces for me. I prefer chunky wooden pieces, so plastic doesn't really do a lot for me, but they need to be nice, and I have a much better experience that way. So, but what's going on in the game, Daniel? Well, party people, I'm going to tell you what's going on in this game. There's two key mechanisms that really piqued my interest as I was looking at this game. So basically, you got a big board, and you have kind of market area, essentially, of a bunch of patients that require different kind of medicines to be healed. And so in a round, you're going to play 4 rounds. In a round, you're going to draft up to 3 patients, and you're going to put them in your own personal hospital. And your hospital has 3 floors. So there's the first level, and then if you're not able to cure them at the end of that round, they're going to move down to the second level. And if you're still not able to cure them after that, they're going to move down, and they're going to be shipped down the river Styx into the land of the dead, and they're going to get minus points for you. I think minus 3 points per patient that dies on you. And so anyway, how you get these patients from the market to your player board is really interesting, where you're going to have your little marker pillar, and the patients are going to be in columns. And in turn order, you're going to select a column to choose. And at the beginning of a round, you're going to roll dice. And there's going to be a die for each color. And each column is represented by a different color. And when you roll those die, then you ascribe the die to a patient in that column. So each column will have one patient with a die next to it. And that's the patient that you are going to receive if you choose that column. But wait, there's more. There's these servant tokens that you can acquire throughout the game, and they're going to allow you to either move dice to different columns, so now 2 of the patients are eligible, and then 1 column isn't eligible to receive any patients from, or you can move patients around, or you can get patients from the top of the stack of each of the colors instead of from the column itself. So there's different ways that there's a more flexibility built in to what you choose. But the basic mechanism is choose a column, you get that patient that was indicated at the beginning of the round from that column. But again, you restrict that column from other players when you choose it. So I just like a really simple mechanism like that. I really, really enjoy. All you're doing in the game is you are choosing something. That something has some requirements that you have to fulfill, and you fulfill it and you get money or victory points or whatever the case may be. But I love when there's a little wrinkle there where it's a little tricky on how you get what you're actually looking for, and you're restricting other people along the way. So I just love that. So right off the bat, I'm already excited for that just simple Euro mechanism that seems like it'll have a lot of life in it for me. The other thing that's really cool is that not only are you worrying about fulfilling the desires of patients, but you're also worried about fulfilling what different doctors can do. So throughout the game, you're going to be able to hire more doctors. And how you actually heal patients is that you have to match the patient up with the doctor that provides the right medicine that that patient needs, and then you have to pay resources that are the different medicines to actually cure that patient. So there's this really cool puzzle of trying to match doctors to patients, being able to afford those doctors to actually cure the patients. And doctors are going to gain you victory points if you were able to kind of fulfill them by surrounding them with the patients that they help the most, and you're worried about fulfilling the patients so that they don't die on you. So this tension between fulfilling doctors and patients, I think, is going to be a really fun thing in this game, and kind of raises the bar from just being a simple kind of collecting resources and cashing them in. There's actually this interplay between 2 different types of things, or 2 different types of contracts that you're worried about fulfilling at the same time, and making that work in tandem. So I'm really excited about this game. What do you think? What about this game is getting you excited? And about Euro games with really simple mechanisms, is this kind of game done for in the day and age of really highly produced Kickstarter games, super fantastic? So this is kind of competing in a crowded field of Kickstarter games. Is kind of a simple medium weight Euro something that you're still looking for? So let me know in the comments below. Are you still into a very simple, streamlined, well put together Euro game? I know I am. This is my bread and butter. And what I notice in board games is people often talk about, well, I already have a game like that, so I don't need this game. I approach it in a totally different way. I like to read books, and I like science fiction and fantasy novels, and a lot of those kind of follow similar paths and tropes and all these sorts of things. I'm not looking for different types of books. I know what I like, and I just want more of what I like. So in the same way with my games, I like mid-weight, color and number Euro games where there's simple mechanisms and you're just cashing in things to fulfill contracts, to collect sets, or whatever the case may be. And the more games I have like that on my shelf, the better. And Hippocrates fits that bill for me, and so I'm so excited, looking forward to the Kickstarter. Let me know, are you gonna back this? in the comments below. And so again, this has been Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel. I've had a blast. Party people. Until next time, I hope you have the best day.